Okay, the first film, 6.6 stars. Looks like people are having fun with it. Even though I guess it has a low opening. So, but it luckily, I guess, technically made it with whatever it said, 159 or 160 worldwide. Then we'll go down here and check out the reviews. I will read the summary first. It says, reviewers say Minions and Monsters delivers charming, family-friendly entertainment with exceptional physical comedy reminiscent of a classic slapstick and strong voice performances throughout. The vibrant animation and humor work well for children while offering clever references for adults. However, the writing feels mundane and incoherent to many, lacking originality and creative depth. Engagement proves divisive, with some finding it entertaining while others consider it boring or exhausting. The film succeeds as quality family fare despite its narrative shortcomings. Okay. Lacking originality and creative depth. They probably just didn't want to make it too complex, I guess. You know, they kind of want to, I guess, have it kind of feel focused and maybe a little bit more simple, because I guess maybe, they obviously prioritize the kids' entertainment over the adult stuff, even though there's adult stuff in it, apparently, whatever that means. Let's see, so 111 reviews. The first one is 5 out of 10. The strangest animated film. Fans of the film dynamics in Despicable Me might find themselves bored, as the plot focuses entirely on the Yellow Fellow's solo adventures. But that's so obvious. It's Minions and Monsters, not Gru and Monsters or Despicable Me and Monsters. It's obviously going to focus on them, and Minions 1 goes through their history, right? Like finding a boss to serve or whatever, right? Whatever. Like there's that one already discovered it. So if you want that one, they already did that one. Like, this is obviously kind of like a new sort of thing, delving into the history of the Minions. The humor is too niche. The attempt to lean into cinephile jokes and homages to this 20th century cinema stripped the film of some of the carefree magic that made the franchise a favorite among the youngest viewers. It will be quite difficult for children to watch this animated film. Wow. So perhaps it's just like I don't know. Maybe it is already. It's still too complicated for kids. Like, maybe what they could have done was actually make this like I don't know if they could do that, like a half and half movie with like for adults and kids, but not dirty for the adults. More mature plot lines, and then there's also stuff for the kids. So it's more like a team movie, maybe, or something. Because like maybe the attempt to lean into cinephile jokes, like those, like now that you think about it, those are things that adults would understand, you know? And like maybe they even did this, like, so when the kids grow up over the next 10 years, they watch this movie and they kind of analyze it differently. And then like a lot of us, you know, in 20 to 30 years, they're gonna be like, wow, like I watched Minions and Monsters when I was little. I didn't get it. And as I grew up, I really understand now, or understand, you know, what they're trying to do at the time. And maybe they're into filmmaking now. And now I get it. And I love Minions and Monsters because it, like, and then maybe they explain it like, it looks like they were trying to make it for the kids, even though it was more like for like teens because of what it is. I think like what this is saying is that there's a lot of references like what to the Marx Brothers and Abbott and Costello. The kids aren't gonna get that regardless. It doesn't matter. And I feel like if this movie is diving into something that, you know, not necessarily older people or anything, but you know, that too, but people who are in the movies and have discovered old stuff, you know, that would be a higher age, right? Like a 7-year-old isn't probably Googling Marx Brothers and goes, oh, Harpo, Groucho, you know, they're probably not doing that. You know, like who's Stan, Oliver and Hardy? Who are these people? You know, and wow, you know, like I think that's what they expected to happen. You know, it seems like it's like a complex kind of a film in that regard. You know, or I don't know, because I feel like it's not really a tough plot. It's the stuff that branches from the plot, you know? Like, this isn't like, it's not for kids. It's like the wrong category, you know? Like, if it's all of a sudden it's about like, I don't know what example. Like, if it's all of a sudden about like, I don't know, making a rocket, or it gets into science all of a sudden, not everybody's into science. Maybe like a select amount of kids are, but maybe a lot of, you know, adults understand basic science, you know, whatever, all that stuff, and they understand it, you know? So, I don't know, possibly that is what this guy is trying to describe or say. It focuses entirely on, see, this one is obvious. It's obviously a Minions movie, you know? Like, if you're sitting there, where's Gru? Where's Gru? Okay, first of all, this is a prequel, okay? Besides it being about the Minions, you know? So it's very strange. And then second, yeah, it would be like, was Gru in the marketing? Did Steve Carell go out and market this? Did anybody involved market it, you know? Like, or whatever, you know, do all that stuff. I don't even think I saw this movie really animated or advertised. See, what I was saying is the fact that you don't need to advertise this. You don't need to show much of the movie because it's like you already have a fan base. You don't really need to show too much. No, maybe in this case, yeah, but generally, like, you know, like I don't know how Despicable Me 2 turned out. But the first one, like, you don't need to sell people for the second one, really. You kind of be like, oh, the first one, I saw the first one. Okay, cool. You know, and then you kind of can judge it later. You need to see a sequel regardless, usually. But anyway, I think that this is what this guy is saying, which is interesting, which then they should have just made it a little bit more mature and then totally, I don't know, lose the kids. I mean, I was listening to discussion about it, and it sounds like that's the thing. It's like a lot of the people maybe have grown up or something, which I don't care really. Like, if they ever made Bugs Life 2, I'd watch it, you know? Toy Story is a little bit different. I have a little bit of an issue with that because of what they did with the third one. I don't know. I'm kind of more like offended because like I grew up with the first one and then watched the second one with Zurg, and I don't know. I am disappointed at the third one, and I didn't watch the fourth, and I'm not interested in the fifth one. Besides me coincidentally missing it 3 weeks ago when it premiered, that was just coincidence. But yeah, I don't know. I think that this is what they're trying to describe. We'll see if it comes up again. This one's 6 out of 10, simple, silly, and endlessly charming. Then 5 out of 10, a beautiful mess. 7 out of 10, the most cinephile side of the Minions. And then 5 out of 10, sadly disappointing and boring. I've been a fan of all Minions Despicable Me movies since they came out, and this one did not hold my attention, nor my children's attention. It seemed as if the franchise was just trying to throw something at us and hope it stuck. The plot was almost non-existent. The characters were not even interesting, in the backstory to why they came to be where they are was just blasé at best. I'd suggest, unless you have toddlers who just like cartoons, to save your money and watch it when it comes to streaming services. I think that this whole saving your money thing is always important, but right now, at this current time, I think people really want to save their money. And if some father or mother schooling this, you know, and they say like, hey, honey, yeah, we're not going to see that movie. I don't think it's worth it. Let's take them to something better, you know, or whatever. I mean, yeah, I don't know. Think that this is interesting. Yeah, see, I've been a fan of all of those, and this does not hold my attention. So then it's just not done well. I wonder if the hour and a half is on purpose, or did they cut it to an hour and a half? Did they cut out important scenes? How does that work? Because I'm pretty sure. Oh, no, I guess it is the same. They could delete an entire scene. I mean, The Incredibles has the whole, all those alternate scenes, right? With Syndrome taking Jack and all that. So, I mean, I don't know what else they could have filmed. Are there, on the DVD and stuff, are there deleted scenes from the Despicable Me series and the Minions films? I don't know. I would assume probably, but not enough to make the news or to be brought up in like public talk. You know, like, did you see Despicable Me had an alternate ending or something, or where Gru dies or something because they didn't plan a sequel? I don't know. So yeah, it's kind of interesting. So sadly disappointing and boring. Yeah, I think that people, if they can save money, they will, but prioritizing their children's happiness can sometimes it can definitely take over saving money, you know, like, hey, my kid's happiness is way more important than saving some money. So I think, you know, so 6 out of 10, Monsters of Hollywood. 1 out of 10, Stay Away. 7 out of 10, great first act with an okay monster flick. Second act, and well, what about the third act? I think they showed it in the. I mean, it's not a complex film. The trailer shows it. I think it's very straightforward, and I guess they're saying there's kind of no story or something. I don't know. I would have just done something with like a simple story. They open up a spell book the first time. They summon somebody who steals something, and now they gotta go get it back. And then they keep trying to do it, and then they get this big monster who maybe at the end they find out the monster is like, wait, I thought you were fighting with me. You need that? I can get you that. If I get you that, stop fighting with me. And the minions go, okay. And they get them that, whatever. And then the movie's over. At least there's sort of a plot or something, or a ticking time bomb, you know, gotta do it in 5 minutes or something, or else something's gonna happen. Yeah, what else? But there is this theme of family, right? And friendship and loyalty and all that. Has anybody even mentioned that? I haven't seen anything yet. And then somebody wrote, okay, 5 out of 10, character development is at a minimal. See, that's funny. Character development. It's just like, it's hard to do character development with a character again, you know? It's like a character has an issue, he learns to get over that issue, and now he's a better person. And, you know, or whatever. Or this character has an issue and he needs to get rid of that issue before the ticking time bomb, whatever. And he does it, and he learns about himself, and he becomes better. That's it. So they could have done that with, you know, they find another minion who's troubled, and he has a problem or something, and he resists the Stuart and Dave's help, whatever their names are. They want to help this minion, and he's troubled, and it's really sad. And maybe they tried to bring him along with their adventure and show him how to be better through film, maybe. And they go back in the past, and they do all that with this character who's learning. And at the end, he has his character arc, and he becomes better, right? Or he even creates that monster at the end. He does something to the spell when they're casting it, and it summons this big monster, but he's evil because of that one minion. And they find out later, and there's a twist, maybe we don't know. And then at the end, he has his arc, and he saves the day. And friendship and loyalty and all of that stuff are there, right? That would be fine. So next one is 9 out of 10. This movie is great. 6 out of 10, great at first, but diminished at the end. 5 out of 10, please retire. Wow. Either retire the series or make it digital, because it's not worth £725 in an empty theater. I know I should blame no one but myself for indulging in buying that ticket, as I do love Minions, but I don't know who the target audience is for this franchise anymore, because kids won't find this any exciting, as I barely heard any sound from the 2 kids in my theater. Yeah, that makes me think that it's it's a kid's movie, Minions, but with an adult storyline of movies, of not even adult story, this is like a complex story that a kid doesn't want. They want to see silly stuff. And maybe this doesn't have enough silly stuff. It's more, I don't know. Maybe it's on purpose. Maybe they're gonna do Minions 3 or whatever, and that's gonna be like PG-13, and it's actually gonna be no kids. Not dirty or cussing, but just more complex story stuff. The other thing is that then they marketed this wrong. They really should have like said, I don't know, like if you're a kid who grew up with this, well, guess what? The Minions are back with a more mature storyline. Have you ever thought Minions would be mature? Well, here they are, Minions and Monsters out this summer, right? And now you're like, wow, really? So they're growing up, sort of, and they're learning new stuff. Okay. And then now a young kid goes in, like a teen, like a middle school kid. Then he goes in and he's like, wow, cool. I'm going to join the video production class in 9th grade, you know, when I go to high school or something. I don't know, whatever. You know, or not even that, he learns a lesson, you know, I'm gonna be better to my friends, I'm gonna be more loyal or family, or, right? The things that are in this movie, supposedly. So anyways, we'll wrap up here. 3 out of 10 average watch, 10 out of 10 absolute banana, 5 out of 10 less entertaining and more chaotic, 1 out of 10 worst Minion movie ever. We'll end it with this one. Easily the worst Minion movie ever made. Not even sure if the PG rating is even valid for some scenes. I literally just said that, and I'm thinking about that. Like, sometimes the adult jokes are actually adult jokes. Like, it's like, come on. Like, dude, that has nothing to do with this movie. This is a kid's movie. If this was made, that was in person, you would get it. You would get a, what is that called? Like being naked in public charge, indecent exposure. If you did this in public, you would get it in trouble, right? But you can do it in a movie. You can do a sexually suggestive gesture in a movie, but a kid does it, and it's like, you're perverted. Like, you're doing that on purpose, and yeah, I hate that. Like, either be adult and make it rated R, or you're for the kids. Are you a creep? Are you like, you want to expose the little kids to that? Like, what is wrong? You know what I mean? Like, why would someone do that? Like, that is, I hate that. I really hate that. Just like, stop. Like, leave that out of the movie. Stop being creepy with that stuff, right? I get it, but you're watching a kid's movie, right? It's for the kids. Go watch a rated R movie with that in it. It's very simple. Don't combine the two. Adult with kid stuff, maybe, whatever. But adult stuff in kids' movies? No. You know, like The Simpsons is obviously straight up, you know, it's for adults. It's not for the kids, kind of tricking them, you know, like, yeah, I don't know, whatever. So, yeah, I don't know. That sucks though. But yeah, the rest of this is, my child was distressed and we left the theater midway through. It is very disappointing an experience to watch this, considering the previous well-made Minion movies. Save your money and skip this one. Oh, my child was distressed. In what way? Is it dirty, like sexually suggestive, or is it just more like the black and white scenes? Is it filmed in a horror movie feel? You know, that's different though. But yeah, anyways, we'll finish that one there. We'll now go to Rotten Tomatoes reviews. Let's see, so 91% from the critics, certified fresh. What in the world? And then 75% from the audience. I don't understand that. Like, so is it good or not? This is the most, but like Rotten Tomatoes is so confusing. They have 4 ratings. Like, it's not just good or bad. It's good, certified fresh. It's good, not bad. It's bad, really not original. Bad, this is rotten. Like, Jesus. And then there's a percentage on top of all of that. I guess it's 100% of the critics, 100% of the audience, right? And 91% of these critics like it, meaning 9% don't like it or whatever. I guess, but then it's so fresh. Like, this is such a good movie. It's fresh, it's brand new. It's reinvented movies. Is that what it's saying? I don't understand that. And then what I just read is it's like weird, but the audience does like it. I don't know. So yeah, anyway, we'll check these out. The critics' consensus is The Minions brings their penchant for mayhem to Hollywood history in this affectionate and charming send-up of movie-making magic, turning out the franchise's most roundly enjoyable entry yet. Roundly enjoyable, okay? Like, oh, and then audience, balancing cuteness and chaos to hilarious slapstick effect, Minions and Monsters proves that the more minions, the merrier. Okay, I mean, yeah, sure. I feel like, what about all the, they just sound like they're saying that it's like not good. This could be the bot thing I keep bringing up, you know, and IMDb is just full of bots. How hard is it to introduce a verification plan or whatever that works? Obviously, Rotten Tomatoes has it. This guy is a real person. This guy is a real person, you know? Abby, a girl. She's a real person. So it's strange that they don't do that. Like Bezos, I don't know who owns Rotten Tomatoes, but Bezos owns IMDb or whatever. So obviously he doesn't care or is even aware that there's a bot issue, even though I think Elon Musk has brought it up and other people have brought it up. Perhaps Bezos just doesn't care and wants that to happen so that his movies do better or whatever. Anyway, so here are the critics' reviews for this film. Brian Viner from Daily Mail in the UK gave it 4 out of 5 tomatoes, saying much of this will fly over the heads of pint-sized audiences, but there's more than enough to keep them happy while their parents and grandparents are chuckling away. Okay, much of how there are pint-sized audiences. What if that is so? Is that considered sick? Like, oh, we got a genitals joke. Oh, they're not gonna guess this one. What is wrong with you? You're okay with public indecency, right? Like, you're so okay with that. Like, deal with it. Like, Jesus, that's kind of a shame, don't you think? I don't know. The next one is Abby Bernstein from Assignment X gave it a B tomato, saying by now most people will have figured out if they like Minions humor or not. For those who do, Minions and Monsters has gloriously ridiculous sight gags, puns, punchlines, and more flying by at a mile a minute. Yeah, that seems like, I mean, they're all like that. Like the Super Mario Galaxy movie is pretty hectic, I guess. And then down here, Nick Johnston from Vanyaland gave it a tomato, saying what elevates Minions and Monsters above many of its peers is its celebration of the art of filmmaking as a collaborative effort in the joy of creative endeavors. Hope that's true. That sounds great. And I keep thinking that it's gonna spark the filmmaking idea in one of these kids' heads. Yeah, they should do a survey after. Are you likely to get into filmmaking after this? And then Alchi Rangifo from Entertainment Voice gave it a tomato, saying plus it's just another dose of anarchic joy, tapping into the inner troublemaker who likes to make funny noises and laugh in the face of fear or proper manners. And then Sean Edwards from Fox 4 Kansas City, wow, gave it 4 out of 5 tomatoes, saying one of the most delightfully charming movies I've ever seen and easily the best of the franchise. And then Rick Bentley from KGET TV in Bakersfield, California, gave it a C- splat. The film is loaded with recognizable names as the voice talents, but none gives the film any special audio zip. So they chose more named people rather than actual voice actors with a name, like with their voice being the main thing, I guess. That's weird, but out of all of that, this guy gives it a splat. That's the 9% that I was saying, or whatever. It said 8%. But the critics who don't like it. So I don't understand that. That is really confusing. This guy actually is being honest, maybe, or something, or this is not for him. I don't know. Andrea Thompson from A Reel of One's Own gave it an A- tomato, saying clocking in at a refreshingly compact 90 minutes. Minions and Monsters is zany, laugh out loud, family romp. And then Mark Kermode from Kermode and Mayo's Take on YouTube gave it a tomato, saying I laughed like an idiot all the way through. And then Devesh Sharma from Filmfare gave it 3 out of 5 tomatoes, saying more than another Minions film. This is a joyous celebration of filmmaking itself. Okay, so yeah, that's good on the critics' reviews. Now we'll go over to the audience reviews and see what they are saying. Estefani H gave it 1 out of 5 stars, saying all other Minions movies were great. This one didn't seem to make a purpose, showed in a way witchcraft and honoring it like a good way. I get it's a kid's movie, but what are you really showing that saying words to bring something from the something kind of a confusingly worded review. Julie gave it 1.5 stars, saying it was terrible for little ones. Ours was so bored that we never made it to the monster part. They are huge Minion fans, but this wasn't it. The violence is a lot for preschoolers. The Queen's beheading was just bizarre. Wow. What? Okay, so here's the thing. Why is there not a critic who's 8 years old? That would have been a legitimate review. The critics are like, wow, I like this. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, because it's for you. It's not for you, it's for the kids. Did it do good for the kids? I don't understand that. If it's for the adults, they should have said that or something, or let us know. Hey, are you an adult? Do you like the Minions? Well, guess what? Now that's for you. Yeah, that's so. This is funny. This is what I was seeing on IMDb. So it may not be a bot issue. I already said that what they really need to do with this whole thing is they need to have, everybody needs to have their ratings, actually, is how it should be worded. Everybody has their rating. Everybody's a critic. Everybody. If you go out to dinner, you criticize the waiter, you criticize the table, you criticize the cleanliness, the bathroom. Everybody's a critic. And then everybody is also an audience, like everybody's you know what I mean? So I feel like they need to have these 2 ratings, like I kind of do that, where you have your critics rating and you go, this was whatever, that, like this and that sucked, that was cool, that was whatever, but also, were you entertained? Like, yes, I laughed, I liked it, like all this, like Project Hail Mary, I liked it, right? But I'm also criticizing it in kind of a strange way. I wanted all the sci-fi stuff. I wanted all of that stuff because I just kept thinking, wait, how did he do that? I would get distracted. But I loved Rocky. I loved all that cute stuff, this and that, all that stuff. It was great. It's very funny and silly and all that stuff. That was great, and I liked that. But from the audience, I like that. But from the critics' point of view, this was wrong, and that was wrong, and that was actually cool, but they should have done it this way. Whatever, right? So yeah, like I'm entertained by film. There's always good stuff. Even like the Superman movie that just came out. It's very weird, and now I've changed my opinion on it. But I have and will always love the the anti-proton river, whatever, but in the black hole where Superman gets stuck in. That whole scene is so cool. I love it. It's so sci-fi-y. It's so weird with the pocket dimension and all that stuff. I love it. I love that scene. But the movie wasn't amazing, and I can say that, But I loved that movie. I really loved it. I like certain things of it. But I do see the issues. I can admit the issues. I see the issues. I agree that they're wrong choices, but I did have fun with that movie. I do like James Gunn's filmmaking, all this stuff, and all that stuff. So, yeah. But anyways, back to this from this little rant. I think that that's the thing. It's just the critics are literally saying this is a good film. It must be good. That's the thing. It must be good. It's just not good for the kids, which is what happened during the test screenings. Nobody said, hey, this isn't kid material. This is like when the kids grow up, they'll like this is what it is. They should have Batgirled this movie. They should have shelved it and then released it in 20 years when the kids grew up. Like, hey, so a long time ago, we were going to do a Minions and Monsters film, but you guys were too young to understand it. Now you're all grown up. Now we're going to release it. Right? And that would be kind of funny, actually. But yeah, we'll continue here. Bernardo D gave it 4 out of 5 stars, saying this might be the least Minions movie in the franchise. I loved it, but it's not for kids. The pacing is slow. It's not really funny, and the movie rests our delight, but just for those who get them. That's what I'm saying. I think that the movie is good. It's not for kids, and I'm sure if you're doing a black and white movie making thing in it, you have to do references. You have to do a Buster Keaton reference. You have to do a Charlie Chaplin reference. You have to do that. And guess what? The kids aren't gonna get that. Now if like some people, I don't know how many people are like me, but my parents showed me everything. Oh, you know what I mean? They showed me Laurel and Hardy, and then they showed me Rocky Horror Picture Show, and then they showed me Seventh Voyage of Sinbad, and then they showed me Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! And you know what I'm saying? I got a real mix of stuff that I don't know if they are, but if these kids have the same experience where their parents show them, hey, we're going to watch a Laurel and Hardy movie tonight, or we're going to watch Horse Feathers, or we're going to watch Duck Soup, or like, hey, guess what? There's this movie where this guy named Harpo plays the harp in every movie. There's always a scene where he plays the harp, right? And then, oh, guess what? He makes a cameo in I Love Lucy when she goes to Hollywood. And then they have that mirror scene, the classic mirror scene. Right now, how many people get this reference? How many people get that? Unless you have a variety of movies you've grown up with. How many kids are being shown Laurel and Hardy films? How many people are being shown a Buster Keaton film right now? It's just like, if I have kids, I like movies, I'm gonna show them a variety of film, They're gonna be able to be like, wow, black and white, that's so cool. Did you know that? And then they're gonna know facts about it or something, and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think that's a thing too. If families are into movies, but they're not that into movies, they should be, their parents should. It's on them. It's on the parents to, everybody enjoys movies. It's culture. It's part of what we do. But I think a lot of people need to take it upon themselves to educate yourself, or the parents need to show the kids more stuff, show them more things, and then, start with the new Spider Noir. Start with that. It's stuff like that, or whatever. Even one of these kids who would assume was the plan could get into filmmaking, and he does a new type of filmmaking, but it's film noir, but with kids, a young kid film noir type of a film. That'd be cool. So yeah, anyways, I think we're good on here. I'll read one more. Donnie M gave it 2 out of 5 stars, saying it had a pretty big curse word in it. What? see one person evaporate and there is a decapitation shown, showing meat and bone and head laying on ground. It doesn't cut away. I usually love Minions and Despicable Me, but this is my least favorite of the series, I'm assuming. Wow, had a pretty big curse word in it. I don't know about the F word, probably bastard maybe? Or, right? That would be, bastard isn't really even like a swear word, or, it just seems like a swear word. I think people have included it as a swear word. It means, what does it mean? Like someone without a father or whatever, right? Something like that. It's not really, it just sounds bad. But that could be considered a bad word because it's not bad, right? It's just, it's a bad sounding word. It's more like, I don't know, rude? No, I don't know. Something like that. This is unfortunate. Seeing one person evaporate and there is a decapitation showing meat and bone, but it's probably a bone, like a dog bone, like one of those classic bones, one of those bones. And then a meat, it's probably like one of those, a ham bone, or like from Minecraft, like a pork chop, with the bone, like the cartoon looking one. I doubt there's actual violence in the movie. Yeah, anyway, that is very strange. And that is all for the Rotten Tomatoes. Right, so Minions and Monsters. I guess it technically popped with 160 overall. Didn't do amazing here in the States, but international. That's funny. It popped with 160 total. I think that it sounds like they should have marketed it to young adults or film people or something. I don't know. I mean, nobody in the meeting really seriously said anything like, hey, this is kind of an adult, not an adult, but this is film. I don't think the kids are gonna like this, and they said, who's that? Get her out of here. And they fire her or that person for saying that. Like, how dare you? I think, I just think it's marketed wrong. It has to be entertaining. In an hour and a half, it's probably straight to the point. So, Minions and Monsters is a little mixed. I think maybe next week, if, people start to see these ratings and stuff and say, that, hey, this looks like it's more for adults or something, hopefully it'll do okay, and make one, well, it'd have to make, it could double it. I think it's gonna make like probably another 80 million or something. It's probably gonna stay there for the entire month, for 30 days, and I don't know, it's probably gonna end at, I'm gonna say 200 million at the end of its run, maybe 300. Oh, no. You know what? It could hit 500. It could hit 500 million worldwide, I'm gonna say. So yeah, in the end, Minions and Monsters popped with 160 worldwide. Pretty awesome. And it surprisingly came in first place.